So Finn could be returning to Star Wars as soon as maybe the next couple years? At a recent Comic-Con appearance, John Boyega was asked by a fan to call Dave Filoni and get himself back into Star Wars. But his response is what drove us wild. So what does this mean for Finn's future? And could this finally mean that Finn is going to get the moment to become a Jedi like we all thought he was going to be in the sequel trilogy? I don't know. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So back in 2015, when we first met Finn in Star Wars The Force Awakens, he felt like a character that was destined for something much bigger. A stormtrooper who breaks free from the First Order. This man picks up a lightsaber and is someone clearly hinted to be Force sensitive. There was some real momentum here. A lot of fans, including myself, especially after seeing the trailer and then the movie for the first time, we thought that Finn was going to be the Jedi. We had glimpses of Rey as well, but even these two being a tandem would have been amazing. But as the sequel trilogy continued, especially into Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, that direction didn't fully pay off. Now, just to set the record straight, I do enjoy the sequel trilogy. There are some mishaps, of course, it's Star Wars. They have their points, but if I was to change something, I would have definitely had Finn at least become a side Jedi character of some sort. You can still give it all to Rey, but give Finn that side project as well. But it's not too late, we will talk about that in this video. Now let's be real, Finn was sidelined to some extent. There's no denying that, but his arc shifted away from the Force development and leaned more into the Resistance leadership. But at the same time, his role still mattered. Finn always represented something powerful in Star Wars: the choice, the freedom, and breaking the conditions. He wasn't just a side character, he was a human heart of the Resistance. And that matters in this story being told throughout the sequel trilogy. But now, today, in 2026, things could be changing. The fact that John Boyega casually confirmed that conversations have already begun with Dave Filoni is a big deal. Because Dave Filoni isn't just anyone. You know, the heir to George Lucas's apprentice, the man who maybe saved Star Wars, I don't know, whatever you want to call him. Dave Filoni is that guy. He's one of the key architects behind modern Star Wars storytelling. You know, Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars The Clone Wars, even Ahsoka. If those conversations are happening right behind the scenes, it means Lucasfilm hasn't closed the door on Finn just yet, and it might not even be close. So now let's talk about where things could go. This is where things get exciting. With the upcoming New Jedi Order era centered around Rey Skywalker, the door is left wide open. So let's take a step back and think about it. Finn returns not as a struggling ex-stormtrooper, but as a fully realized Jedi Knight, someone who was trained right after the events of Episode 9. Finn could be that person who finally embraced the Force that was teased all along. And not just that, Finn could be powerful. We've already seen hints that he's Force sensitive. The man can fight as well. He feels the connections, he senses the danger, he understands things that others don't. And we really see that in The Rise of Skywalker. But imagine all of those things put together and seeing Finn fully developed. And like I mentioned earlier, he can fight. I mean, combat-wise, Finn already held his own with a lightsaber against Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens. So now picture him years later with some training and some actual combat with a lightsaber. Finn could be actually crazy. Seeing Finn with the training, with the discipline, with the purpose, the drive, something that we've seen popular with Jedi before. He could be one of the most unique Jedi we have ever seen in Star Wars. A warrior shaped by the trauma, but also a warrior who is shaped by the redemption. And I think John Boyega could kill this role. I mean, Finn, a Jedi. John Boyega knows that his character has been sidelined, especially in the sequel trilogy, but going forward, we can look at Finn's new light, this new story where he can actually shine. I kind of look at the sequels like, yes, some writing changes happened to where Finn was put to the side, but that was just his story during that timeline. Me as a fan, I am super easy to please, so I mean, if they did go forward with Finn becoming a Jedi, everything that happened before in the sequels would make perfect sense. He was really dialed in with the Resistance. Now, years later, and being with Rey and potential other Padawans and Force users, Finn could be one of the masters or even simply a knight. And I would be completely okay with that. But Finn really does matter to the story. It's not finished yet, it's just incomplete. So bringing him back wouldn't just be the fan service that we all think it would be course correction. And we've seen this many times in Star Wars. I mean, we can even look at characters like Count Dooku and Darth Maul in the prequel trilogy, and they had short times. but they get fleshed out in the Clone Wars and some parts of Rebels, and we see those characters more. And that's what this new Jedi era could be. Simply bringing some of those characters from the sequel trilogy and enhancing their stories. Nothing needs retconned, nothing needs rewritten, it's all set in stone right here, right in front of us. It would fulfill the promise that was set up in Star Wars The Force Awakens, and honestly, it would strengthen the entire sequel era retroactively, because suddenly that setup means something again. And let's not forget that John Boyega himself is a huge Star Wars fan. He understands the lore, he understands the characters, he understands the fans, he understands what Star Wars is all around. And John Boyega has been very vocal online and at conventions about Star Wars. He's definitely not just an actor who's looking to come back just for a paycheck, although it would probably be handsome. Ultimately, this is someone who cares about his character, and that's what really makes the difference here. So if those conversations have already happened, then maybe Finn's return isn't just a possibility, but it's inevitable. And the real question is, when he comes back, will Star Wars make him the Jedi that he was always destined to be? I'm not too sure. Let me know down in the comments. I do think that this is going to happen, but I do want to hear from you guys. I want to hear your different perspectives for the character of Finn, for John Boyega. He's going to be at Rebel ScumCon later this year in August down in Frisco, Texas, and I am super excited. I'm going to be standing in that long line to meet him. I think it's just such a compelling character and a compelling actor as well, so I think this would be a really good time to kind of meet with him. And if he's telling people about, talking to Dave Filoni, what can we get out of him at Rebel ScumCon? I mean, hey, when's Finn returning, bro? Do we know anything? Is there any new characters? Are you going to be in any other movies? Who knows? But with that being said, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. We are super close to 1,000 subscribers. I never thought we would get to this point, but I am so appreciative of all of you. And be sure to smash that like button as well. It really helps the channel out, and it helps me know that we're making good content here on Clan Brand DeLorean. So with all that being said, guys, thank you for viewing this video. We will see y'all in the next one.